And we are here for the final set of games in the Jakku fiasco. You see, there it is, it's Jakku for sure. We got Grenooli here in the teal, playing the Imperial Remnants, and over here we've got Hero in the purple Gungans. A lot of nerfs all together there. There's some hack spawning of the map there. All your banthas just so neatly together like that. What is going on? Well, it's the same over here. What is this? Is there extra ones? Doesn't seem like there's any extra ones. They're just all very neatly compacted together. It's like someone went in the editor and just placed them. So going to get those into the nursery for that free food passive income. 77 food per game minute. So almost enough to keep the command center going. Probably just need to have a little bit of workers on the Minox just to get that extra bit of food here and there to make sure that they get a worker queued up just before the next one finishes, or the last one finishes. And a couple of massives here, 3 massives, quite a lot of food. A dewback as well. Pretty good amount of food to get to T2. You see the hero here got some food stockpile in the back here, quite safe as well if he gets some sort of early pressure sent his way. Novas and ores though not looking too hot right there. Sort of exposed to the center, and this Nova is just, I don't know. Is that his? I think most people do tend to get 2 on this map from what I've seen. I think it is. It's a bit suspect. Getting onto the massive there. 5 workers on carbon. This guy going too far and this guy going too far. They're not the best efficiency there. Grenooli on the other hand looking very similar. This worker distribution. So neither really cutting a few extra corners on how many workers they've got on food, keeping it a reasonable 5 or so. And then everything else going off to the carbon. On Grenooli's side, or Nova, a little bit exposed out there, but he has some nice ones right up against the edge here as well. His food stockpile, kind of near the command center as well. To be honest, that's not even too bad for like a bit of long distancing if you were cutting some corners and just needed that extra like 10 food deposited now and again. Kind of unethical how close it is in comparison. It certainly would help shore up some builds if you wanted to just pump out some bounties very quickly. Dewback on the way. So I'm curious if the players are just going to play like a very standard T1 then, with there being so much food, and just try to get up to T2 and then rush from there, right? I don't see anyone like desperately going for the Mounties. I can see that there's a troop center going down, but it's just like there's extra workers on food here as well. I don't see any like Nova rallying. Not that it's that possible, really. It's quite a distance to go. This is a little bit better, but Novas are still quite far in general. Remember, it's 1 dewback, 3 massives, so that's like, I think they're all each like 340 food or something. Quite a lot. I think both are going to have their troop center power core infrastructure up before they hit the button. To be honest, like, I think they both got maybe a little bit too much on carbon. This would be fine though, like if one of them decided to mountie the other. I see Hero's going to make some mounties here. It just seems like it's kind of late. It's not like I don't know. I feel like he could have cut a few more workers. You know, he's going into the mounties, but it just seems, I don't know if it's a reactive thing or what. I see Grenooli's making a mountie too. They just don't seem very streamlined builds. I don't know if they were maybe just like scouting, see what their opponents are doing, and now they're just both doing it out of some mutually assured thing. I'm not sure. Or they were just trying to keep themselves and their builds flexible for whatever happens. But see, going into food processor now. Just a little bit of food to consume here. And if you add all that up and you cut out the mounties, for sure gets to T2. Grenooli with his scout and a couple of mounties making it across the hero's base first. Hero's scout and mountie on the way. Rally trooper recruit, I don't know if that's maybe a mistake, he's not changed his rally point. But Hero going to lose this mountie on the defense here because it's 2v1. Does keep his workers from being harassed right now though. The second mountie will come in. On the other hand, Grenooli getting pressured on this side, he has to walk that trooper recruit back. Really trying to greed for this worker here, gonna get it. And then go for the Mountie. He's gonna lose his Mounties though, I believe. Doesn't quite have the DPS to kill that Mountie in time. And doesn't get it, and now the Scout is potentially gonna die here. All in all, not really too much damage. I don't think Hero got any kills on this side. Grenooli got the one worker kill. No, I thought he got 2 worker kills. There's one here as well, I think. I think that's one of their little Dyson Hoover pack things on their back. Their food extraction cylinder. And still got massive to eat here for Hero. But going at the farms. He does see it. Just doesn't seem keen on getting it. So Hero just starting T2. Grenooli, on the other hand, about to hit T2. That's kind of the difference in that massive food, I suppose. Hero still has a Mountie out here, keeping an eye on things, but you can see that during that time, Grenooli macroing pretty damn well. Got all these troopers together, sending them out across towards his opponent. Both the techs researching. That way they can all arrive as a unit as quickly as possible. And off they go and see if there's any damage opportunities for them. Hero's doing a bit of walling, getting a second troop centre now. He's got a couple of Gungan troopers hanging out here and there, but he's pretty exposed from the bomb side. He's actually missed a Jew back as well. He's really mucked up here, not grabbing this food earlier. Sees the Jew too. And then he's got the farm. So this is kind of the difference in their builds. Because Grenooli's not put all this carbon into the farm, so that's why he's got these troopers a little bit quicker. And of course he had all that food quicker too, so he got to T2 quicker. And Hero's just got to sort of deal with it, right? He's going to lose 2 more workers because of this. These guys are like awful at aiming. What on earth? They missed like both shots there. It's like only half the control group like hit the worker. There should have been 2 worker kills. Oh, I'm yawning already, that's not good. Sentry post set up here for a bit of vision. Slow down a counter attack, I suppose. Distract him while he's trying to sneak these troopers up the top part. Maybe this worker can go and like build a turret at some point or something. I don't know. He is spending ore to make these sensor posts though. So that should be a bit of a tell. I don't know how he's managed to patrol like that on one spot there. It's a bit freaky. Maybe got stuck up against whatever building this was, if there was a building there. I think that's just a map spot actually. We're really sending more and more troopers out. And Hero doesn't really have any opportunity here to just counter, he's just getting some troops to defend. You might want to get more walls, you can see he's thinking about that with these prefab shelters. But Grenooli's being really annoying, just making sensor post, house. Getting vision around the base, looking for opportunities, and it's going to really help him keep just patrolling every group of troopers that he builds. But the Mountie being annoying here to one of these workers that came out for some carbon. Grenooli running in here now for another fight with the troopers. Gonna catch that worker. And pretty much every visit he's just sort of trading okay-ish and killing like 1 or 2 workers. However, I don't really see many troopers getting made at home anymore, and Hero kinda needs to take this opportunity to counter attack. Because Grenooli is placing down his tech buildings. And his food's starting to sort of reach that point. So he needs 300 more food, 200 Nova, and he can go up to the next tech level. And that's going to be a problem for Hero. Because Hero's a few workers down. And he needs to get some damage with this and then think about teching himself. So let's see what he can do with these troopers. Grenooli has started making just a few because he sees that he's being counterattacked and he just wants to have them at hand to deal with the force. We've not really done much to close his base out though. So we're hero paying a bit more attention here. It's quite a long time to not look at the troopers and just leave them patrolled on the house. He's not really got much going on at home either. So they're going to come in here and they're going to go for a trade. Problem is, a lot of these guys are actually taking quite a few shots, and now they're just going for a worker there and then just completely messed up their AI and they just get gunned down for basically no losses. Grenooli should be feeling good because he'll be on his way to T3 surely. Did slow him down a little bit making these troopers as above us, but he's doing some spaceport wizardry right now. Just use the garrison here. There he goes, off to T3. And we're going to fight again at the big Star Destroyer. Grenooli going to take that trade. Kind of just winning all the trades really. Hero not having a good time. For that second building. Hero almost sort of there with his food. But Grenooli going to knock him off of the Nova here. And still building these sensor posts and things, keeping an eye on the bottom part of his base. And he's going to be able to make use of this vision when he hits T3 and he starts rallying some strike mechs and maybe some fighters. Look for windows where you can catch some workers off guard, do some damage. Patrolling in here, and this terrain's going to mess him up. You see these guys trying to run around this side? Because this worker was like blocking the pathing. So Grenooli just going to win that quite comfortably and keep him off of the Nova here. Hero does start the button up to T3. He's going to find that Grenooli is going to be T3. One worker being, this is some hero micro right here. This one worker, 3 HP, oh, there he goes. Did he get killed though? That's for their arms like spread out like that when they die. These troopers are getting too much value. Nearly got another one. Well, that's over, but then now he's got to deal with this. And full T2 upgrades for these strike mechs too. Armor, range, damage. They're going to be quite a nuisance. Even extra range coming as well. Getting made 2 at a time here. Really got quite good carbon income. A lot of carbon processors he's built as the game's progressed. Just making sure that he's got sort of ideal saturation. See how quickly those workers die to these strike mechs. There's only 2 of them there. Really needs to be careful running into turrets like this though. It just kind of like throws away his pressure. Like you could just sit here, or here, or here, out of the range. You can't outrange. You can't like sit in the minimum range here. The turrets cover each other. And he just needs to keep this going, right? So it's up to Hero to try and clear this out of his base as fast as possible. But for Grenooli, he can just keep spamming these strike mechs. And every time they arrive in the base, just move them to another place where they can shoot workers. Sort of forming a firing squad all around the base, limiting any areas to mine or gather anything. And just pull the mech destroyers away from where they want to defend. Don't need to sit and take the shots, but you can lure them and make them chase you because the strike mechs are quicker. And back at home, not really any CCs put down for Grenooli. He's just pretty much all out on this, getting his upgrades and just spamming these strike mechs for as much damage as possible, which is completely fine in this circumstance. Just because there's no way for his opponent to be like getting ahead of him in workers right now, because he's killing the workers. He's like killing his opponent's workers, the ones that he's not actually building out of extra command centers. So it keeps the game level in that regard. Unfortunately as well, Hero doesn't actually have a second command center here, which he probably should with a couple of MDs here, since he's just sort of resigned to playing defensive. You can see they're getting to a point where they can actually kill this Might Destroyer. Lucky it doesn't kill it. Just because the upgrades are really stacking up. More armor, more range, damage here. It just needs the last damage one. It's quite expensive though. Not going for the low health one. Mistakes were made. Again, Hero can't. He's been really blasé about this Might Destroyer and does lose it. I'm gonna call GG there because it's kind of disaster when you're losing the MDs like that. So into the second game here. And this time Grenooli in the grey with the Trade Federation. No, the Sand Consortium. Got bamboozled by the pit droids thing. And Geonosians here in the purple for Hero. The Gorg. The Gorg has been lured. So a couple of nerf. A couple of Jews. Massive. 2 massives. That's reasonable. I like this. I like it when it's really low nerf. They're both building nurseries though. I'm not too sure about that for 2 nerfs. Should have just ate them. It's okay for these guys though, I think. Just because you got such a strong bounty rush. I think I prefer as the Sand to just eat them though. Just play defensive and counter. Massive down. It's quite an interesting map, this one. Big centre in between them, and they're quite in the centres of the land as well. They can sort of spread out left and right. You can each do that and split the map around the centre. So maybe it goes for a longer game. If they make it out of T2 or the T1 bloodbath. I think I'm going to speed it up to get out of T1 here because I think this is going to be a bit slower, which is 2 nerfs. One sees it's a carbon. Luring the massives. Pretty much all that can be done here. That one's a bit annoying right up against the edge of the carbon here. Try to get your scout behind it. So what do we think about these civs? Zan and Geos, both pretty good mech civs. Geos have the sort of air differential. Geos are just really good in general, and then the artillery as well. I guess Zan's got decent artillery too. I think I favour Geos in general. I think they're just a much stronger all-around civ. I think that really matters in a 1v1 too, like how many options you've got. Tech switches and stuff you can pull off. Different ways you can play the game, and it's harder for your opponent to predict. I think Zan's pretty predictable as a civ, whereas Geo's not so much. Zan just does what it does quite well. Mainly strike mechs. Get that extra damage upgrade in T4. And food processors going down here. So I don't think it's going to be any mounties here from Hero. Oh yeah, anyway. Oh dear. And for the, or at least hope that the worker would push it. Thing is, he does a basic training for it by default as well. So it might have went a bit further without that, maybe. I think it makes them do more damage, to be honest. I don't know. But either way, that wasn't going back. I need to find out. Because I can't remember. It's probably just it makes them tankier. Yeah, it just makes them tankier. Basic training for Grenooli here. Just catch up in that tech game. off to T2. Troop centre going down here. Bit of a weird little wall, this. So maybe gonna go like this. Try and create a nice spot for his Nova to be safe. Here on the other hand, getting the light walls down. Quite a lot of them too. He might just go for T3. I think he should. It's a good wall he's got going. Grenooli not making mounties on the way to T3, so, or G2. This would be like a good blind thing to do as well on a map where there's like 2 nerfs, because you would maybe assume that your opponent didn't make a nursery. You could just like light wall everything and tech up. Grenooli did, but they're quite good for him if he did just rally like 2 mounties and then troopers. Sending 2 troopers across, but you must see that this is pretty much all walled. Hard for him to find the damage he would want. Hero only on the way to T2. Much slower at T1, but maybe it can help him get to T3. No, he did make troop center power core. Defensive trooper recruits. A while before they're needed though, like 2 troopers. So he did make a mountie. He does see this wall. Maybe he thinks he was going to go for the rush. I'm not sure. Or go for the T3. But you must see the troop center and the trooper recruits now. Won't be able to get to the wall in time though, so it will open up here for him. And he does have a range on these. He can kind of win this trade. Has he got anything to follow up? I don't really see anything else. Doesn't he? It didn't really micro. Could have used the range and stuff there. I see here Grenooli's putting down a lot of farms, so maybe he's just going to try and sneak up to T3. Building some wall. Making the odd trooper here and there. Carbon's looking kind of scarce though. Got a lot on food, but then it's on the food stockpile as well, which is kind of slow. Both pretty comparable, but this seems like a very conservative game. They don't want to go out and do too much. Greenlee had that little bit of early pressure, but I think he's just making some troopers for the sake of it at this point. Finishing up a wall here, putting a gate down. And both must be just flirting with the idea of just taking up. As you can see, their food going up here onto Nova for hero. He's still not really making any troopers. He's not really got any attempt to fight Grenooli here in T2. Spaceport down. Mac factory on the way here. And Grenooli up to 800 food, going for the spaceport. And then Mac factory. Grenooli going to be doing the same thing he did in the last game, running out and building some sensor posts and stuff. Looks like he's pulling this guy back though, he doesn't want him building any more. So off to T3 for Grenooli, and Hero just a little bit ahead. Getting his T3 started. And I don't know what they're going to do here. Like Cheetos, I'm always looking for that ore processor. He's going on to it now, but it's only a couple of workers. Doesn't seem like a Geonosian warrior energy to me. On the other hand, not really any changes in the economy for Grenooli here, just keeping it food, carbon. Very little on Nova. We're putting a lot more now. Maybe having a think about what he wanted to do, and the fact that there's walls, maybe he's just going to go double airbase. So he's going to delete some buildings here for space before he gets to T3. Going to get planned out where he wants to build them. And both got pretty good bases to defend here in T3. I think it may just come down to air versus air. Got one air base queued up, 2 air base here for Hero. All workers being pulled just to get them quickly. And see the same for Grenooli. Double air base, double air base. Get some pressure here on the workers on the ore, but there's enough troopers there that should push them away. Although he doesn't have any range. Neither player's got range. They've really cut corners there. I hope it's intentional. It's annoying, that guy just straight up missed there. And now we can harass the workers for a couple of seconds, and it's going to force Hero to reveal his air. So Grenooli gets a bit of an advantage in that sense that he knows that Hero has air. Hero doesn't necessarily know that Grenooli has air. Be a fair assumption though when you've walled like that. That's what you should expect and anticipate. And both players kind of building up to 4 so far. Hero feeling a little bit more brave to go out on the map, but Grenooli did come back down with that worker and made a few sensor posts, which is really annoying for Hero here because he wants to move out and he wants to sneak in, do some damage, but he doesn't feel like he can. Managed to sneak 2 of those fighters away. You can see Grenooli. Oh no, not in patrol there. That's just 2 free kills for Grenooli, and Grenooli is gonna feel emboldened by that. Because, I mean, whatever happens now, he's up 2 fighters. If he comes in and he trades for, say, just 2, it's an even trade, right? So he can flip the dice and see if he can get some workers and maybe even get a better trade than that. He comes in here, sees these workers going for the command center. Another 2 coming as well, so it's 6 fighters versus 4 right here. He has 2 in the way, though. But he goes in, they trade 1 for 1. Turret intervening a little bit. And I think like both players would be kind of happy with that, to be honest. Evenish. This is annoying though. You can see the forward-facing ores. Very easy for the strike mech to deny it now, and it's probably gonna force a mech destroyer. You can see it queued up there. So it's a good read for Grenooli. Doesn't need to overinvest that. He doesn't need to make any more than that 1 strike mech. That 1 strike mech is. It's winning, right? It's knocked the workers off of there. It's forcing a mech destroyer, which costs a lot more than it, to come and deal with it. And it's giving him a little bit of vision here to play off of. You might try and go and snipe these fighters here. Looks like it was the idea. He wasn't quite on it there, but Hero trying to be a bit too cute with the micro there. Really tempting fate there. He's got 3, he can go and trade for these now. Like really getting a couple of workers here and there. Still just 2 air bases at home. All in all, I'd be feeling quite comfortable in this game because Hero's just in his base defending, and really can do what he wants at home. Again, with the whole wall thing, kind of need to be getting command centers down, and it makes you feel like you can't. You might not have any space for it. There's one there. Needs to be another one as well, to be honest though. He's air as well. He's not making a few more strike backs, not too sure why. Don't think there's really anything for them to do. From the MD, we can see Hero coming out of the base. But Grenooli should see all of this with these sensor. He needs to clear these sensor towers up. Just gotta sit and shoot them and keep an eye on the fighters. Make sure you don't get patrolled into. And Grenooli sort of mirroring. That's bad to flank like that though. See how it messed him up there. He kind of got a good trade, to be honest, when he shouldn't have. At least for how bad that was. Like like half your fighters doing that. It's not good. That's why you don't move around and flank unless you're like cleaning something up in the base that you're not like looking at, and they're never gonna see you coming. Maybe. You do flank as soon as your fighters start fighting. Because if you move around like that, it's so wonky. And it's nothing to do with this, it's just how they tend to fire at the units when they start fighting on patrol. It's very different. in the formations. I don't know if it's to do with where the troopers want to go. Like once they would be done with the patrol or something, and that affects how they fire, but it works like that for whatever reason. That's why flank always beats line. Really, it's still being annoying building all these towers and stuff. Getting some holocrons, that's a nice little differential here. Geonosians with holocrons would be feeling comfy. That's his first one. And Grenooli at home, just booming here. I suppose we should take a look at the economies, see where things stand. Quite close, got that 8 holocron over though. Really got a lot more food. I suppose that's just all the harassment and stuff. It's kind of been the farms that have been affected. I think Grenooli's got a lot more farms down as well. Although, I don't know. Seems kind of comparable now. Which one is it? 28? 25? Yeah, pretty close. Oof. Passing in the night there. At least to pay attention. I see, like, again, 2 fighters not there. That's a good trade for Hero. I think Grenooli had the numbers. I suppose in general though this isn't bad for Grenooli in a sense that it's kind of hard to forget, or easy to forget, that the Geos are air civ now. So fighter counts being low, kind of good when they tech up to T4. This means those interceptors that pop out unshielded can get a bit more value, a bit more chance of actually stopping air, preventing it. Grenooli he's always quite happy to just throw a few fighters away. Kill a worker here and there. Gonna get 2. Oh, almost. The scores are quite even. Secretly trying to build a meg factory over here on the side. At least an extra one. Research center down. So it must be on his way to T4. All that food paying off now. That food that he had on Hero. Translating a quicker T4. Hero trying to kill off all these towers, but he's collecting these holocrons is the nice thing he's got going for him now. The second one now. I think there's going to be like a flood of strike mechs here for Grenooli. Here, on the other hand, I guess we would just assume that it would be like air. I mean, if Grenooli's getting up to T4 before him, he can set up a static defense, and then he can maybe just try and pump out a lot of strike mechs to get through the wall here, shoot a hole in it, and then run through and start killing workers. I can see Grenooli doesn't really want to make any more fighters at this point though. Hero's taking advantage of that by coming in and harassing the workers. Very good trade for it. I don't know how he's mucked that up so hard there. It's so many more fighters. Just needed to like click them. That's really good for Grenooli, like to be pushing them away. A lot of fighters to go down as well as he's getting close to T4. I don't think there's anything bad about him attacking there, just needed to kill those fighters. And Troop Center Heavy Weapons Factory. I guess maybe gonna get some researchers going in the base here. Lighter armor. Maybe Mounties. Mounties would be really good for Geos. Problem is Zan again, like Zan into Geos. Just very likely to play around the strike mech. You see heavy strike mech here. Not too many upgrades, but they'll come. Sooner or later. They're running over here now. And oh no. What is that timing? There's a hole now. They've mined a hole in the wall. You can come in here and just instantly kill that mech destroyer. And now you can run into the eco. And the DPS isn't exactly there for the fighters. They're just the T3 kind. There's no fast fighter being researched. Hero's panicking. He's got an artillery that can maybe help defend, but a lot of workers are going to go down here. A lot of guys are getting garrisoned too. He didn't stop his Jedi with a hollow there. But again, a lot of workers are going to go down. Might he going to try and get in front? Nope. No chance. He's building a couple of attackers here. I think he definitely needs to maybe get fast fire for just a bit more damage on these. Fast fire kind of researches quite quickly as well. Ugh. The apprentice instantly queued back up. And fortunately for him, Grenooli's not rallied more. But he's definitely gotten a big lead off of this, right? 54 workers for Hero. 106 now for Grenooli. And then there's more strikes on the way. I'm gonna regrettably close up that wall. Again, sucks that this ore is out the front here. Needed to maybe make a few more attempts to sort of secure this area. Really tried to get through, could not. He's gonna have to go around the left hand side maybe and shoot one of the prefab shelters open. Don't think there's any traitors here at the Nova. Again, both Novas can be harassed from the outside there. Does have those 3 hollows though. The attackers are going to do a much better job pushing these units away. And now the fighters coming in with shields. He needs to kill, what, 50 workers to even things out. Again, the numbers are low, right? So the interceptors can do some decent trading here, and he can keep making them. You could also try and micro them a bit better as well, since they have a lot more range. Like these have 3 range, I think the interceptors have like 6 or something. 6 range. They are fast units though, but you maybe just need to like get into the rhythm of like clicking and then moving back, clicking and then moving back. Should certainly be a way to get some better value out of them here. I'm really making a lot of workers, so even with all that happening, he's still over 100. 101 workers. Here on the other hand, 69, nice. But economy feeling it, he needs a lot more, especially with geos. So you can get that diligent upgrade and get some real good value out of your guys. And put some strong armies together. Quite a lot of attackers though, still leaning into the air, which is, I think, quite solid to do. Should at least pressure Grenooli to make more interceptors, which aren't too great for him. Or lean into AA mobiles and stuff, which I feel he should have to. Is he going to get a 4th holocron? That's crazy. Geo's getting 4 holos. The heavy weapons factory going down here as Grenooli starts to move into the centre of the map. He's got so much vision, right? All these towers. Look at this vision on the map. Maybe got 1 or 2 upgrades there as well. Look how much you can even see into the base. Almost like he's got map hacks. And I reckon these attackers could probably like clear these all up quite quickly. I think Hero should be doing more of that, because if someone like cares enough to be setting up all this stuff, right, they're gonna get really mad when you start killing them. Because it's a lot of effort to move the worker around, keep doing it everywhere. Certainly becomes easier for you the more like mechanically sound you are, but it's going to annoy you because then you're going to keep getting that warning, right? I'm being attacked, I'm being attacked, I'm being attacked. I know it would drive me mental. That's probably why I don't tend to do this too much. +9 damage on the max. Anti-air mobiles getting flexed in now. Sort of registers there's a bunch of attackers. So So what would be a good army composition for Geos here? I think let's go Mounties. I just don't think like Mounties are like they're so wonderful, right? With air, but like I think when you're playing Zan, no. Like the +9 strike max, no. Absolutely not. I think it's going to be like play it like Naboo or something. Like get some mech destroyers in, and then try and add some like artillery as well. I like this little leaning into air though, to like force your opponent to have a lot of AA mobiles. You can really run a lot of workers down here. It's this Nova. Certainly, you can see everything though, right? Coming in here with some interceptors. And Hero should probably have his own like handful of interceptors, right? And he's got all these hollows too, so it shouldn't cost him too much. Assault mechs would be really good as well. The artillery takes a bit to get going. You can see some Mounties trying to run up to him. He's just gonna run away though, right? A few MDs. And here can't really do anything with that. Again, like a light amount of mech, some grenadiers, and some like attackers for Geos here.
Standing by, sir. Yes, Commander.
Like there's no way that's enough if you make a lot of attackers.
Yes, Commander.
They don't even have the range. A lot of artillery out now. The only thing they're lacking is like a shield generator. Grenooli, as he peers over into Hero's base, can see the workers. Send some strike mechs to snipe them there. And pushing here with a lot of mech. He's got some workers here that he can maybe slam down a fort or shield generator and make this sort of a pushing area. There's quite a lot of army for Hero. It's just the right units. They don't synergize very well, like artillery and Mounties. I don't know if this seems like a bit of a mistake by the fact that these two are just sitting there. Like they kind of look at the trades. It's so bad. Oh, this is really annoying if he just sits and cannons him here and he doesn't stop it. This shouldn't happen. Do you not range? I swear that's like 16 range. How did he get through there? Was there a house? Very quick. These are the times where the attackers are really nice. Like, just be here trading with us. They've got quite good DPS. You're not really making an attempt to close this off. Make sure he doesn't get into like the heart of the economy. I think Grenooli would be quite happy to just throw these units away if he gets quite a lot of worker kills. And this should be hard for Grenooli to actually trade with. He needs to lean into like air cruisers or something. And set up some strong static defense. The worst synergized army here. Not really many strike mechs though. So there is an opportunity for the Mounties, but this is bad for Hero. Stop. Unrecoverable though. You could just like select all his command centers and just spam workers onto these farms again, rebuild them. As long as he gets something over here on this forward, but the artillery are just not like the best for killing the fortress. And if you just had shield generator behind these units, it would feel really good. But they have such low health artillery, and so damage is really ramping up on them there. Because they got to weather the storm with their slow rate of fire. They take a lot more shots from their opponents. That's why the shields are so nice. There's a lot of workers going down. 53 to 146, that's bad, because then he just loses his army and it's over. And he doesn't really have any food. Can only really afford artillery, and that's about it. Cleans it up though. Needs to build a lot of workers again, get the farms going. And Grenooli needs to just put some assault mechs into his army, I think. That's the thing about this map, I feel like people are so beaten down and battered in team games by like Jedi that they kind of just forget like how good an assault mech is. And like one or two like just laced in with this is it's just insane value for damage.
Systems operational. We stand ready to fight. Awaiting orders. Awaiting orders.
One day he will defeat the sentry post. Pushing in here, some defilers getting added. I don't know if they're really adding too much to this army though. But they'd be better to just make more cannons. Or an air cruiser. Since he's got this turret set up, an air cruiser would be quite nice to just bait some of the air forward. And ACs are just always insanely good against artillery because of the slow movement speed and the lack of health. These are really going down quite quickly. Cannons hitting the shield behind them too. And I don't think Hero's really got anything left in the gas tank to replace these units. He's got the air here, but you can't really push him back because of the turret. A low air count in general. A few A mobiles here and there as well. Is that another turret being made out of power core? Some Mounties trying to get in here, but there's still quite a lot of strike mechs. Cost food too. Hero, unfortunately, gonna GG there. Grenooli too strong from there. I think Hero did pretty well in that game, it's just that I think the Mounties were a really bad call. That was kind of his game to lose. The Mounties made sure of that. So Grenooli on the Wookiees in the blue, Hero on the Trade Federation in the purple here. The Dewback has been lured and then decides to troll a little bit, but in the end comes right back to the command center, thankfully. And this one, bit of tune between the two of them. Listen Al Gaib. The walling is interesting. Quite wide for both of them though. It's not like some of the maps where it's like super easy wall. To have Trade Federation though. But a lot on foot here. How many nerfs is it? Oh, only one. Only one? Is this intention of the bad thing? Maybe. Sure, it's easy at this point to convince yourself that Grenooli the bully deserves the TC before carbon. Oh. Come on. This could have been it. Well, slow T1 it is then. SF being pushed here. Really, on the other hand, not dropped any carbon on the nursery, so he's got his 2 banthas in reserve here that he can munch on. Due back to be lured. There's a few frogs. There's quite a few like low hunt that can be like lured with the scout here. It should feel like a good map for it. Since the nerf count's so low, shouldn't be too worried about mounties really. Even if a mountie or two does come, in general it shouldn't be that quick, right? Maybe just focus on getting your hunt lured so that you've got that food. Troop center going down for Grenooli. We did make a nursery. Like a late one. This is just like he wants to have mounties. TC power core on the way for hero here. 2 mounties queued up. Off it waddles. Hero trying to lure this massive. God, it really trying to go back, isn't it? Bounty on the way. A lot quicker here for Hero. It's a lot more decisive in what he wanted to do this game. He has to run past the command center here into the carbon, and second mountie out here for Grenooli, so they're going to be 2 on their way to the base of Hero here. And second one coming here, but just a lot quicker to get on top of Grenooli's workers here. Does Grenooli even know where he is? He doesn't. He's sort of just guessing, and guess wrong so far. 1 trooper recruit out here, mounties go straight on top of it, and they can get the other one as well. But nope, he didn't pay attention. This one went after a medic. The low health one went to the trooper recruit and died. And the medic can start healing things. Well, we've only got 1 mountie left there now for damage. Well, Hero starts attacking here at the carbon. Or Grenooli rather, starts attacking Hero here at the carbon. Grenooli does lose that one for basically free though. And just got 1 mountie and a scout here. Looks like there was another mountie sent away to Grenooli, but he's pulling that back. And Grenooli going to run his mountie away. Doesn't want to lose it for free. And both players probably going to be building some farms, I would assume. A few more Gorgs for lunch here. Medic healing everyone up. Really keeping this nerf hidden. That 1 bantha. And a little bit harder for TF to see these mounties milling about just because of no prefabs to grant vision anywhere. So it does sneak back onto the carbon here. Trying to single out a worker and kill it off, use the scout to mess up its AI as it tries to run away. And there's the trooper recruits at home to defend this, and They're not even interested, to be honest. He is T2 though, maybe he's trying to counter. Oh, Grenooli. Missing this Jew back, what? Seems to like to run behind that carbon cluster there. So it's a bit of repairing to stop the worker dying. Does clear that up now, it's annoying, but really moving across the map here. Only just started T2 though, this is kinda good opportunity for a hero to have done some damage here if he got his troopers together and he pushed. Like he could get these troopers for free. They should be on his path if he was going towards his opponent, but Grenooli's getting a lot of time here to just wall things up. It's kinda silly what Grenooli's doing here though. That's all the damage they did. 21. Grenooli hits T2, but he's sort of walled things out mostly, although this is kind of open. It would be good if the troopers went through the dunes and came around the back. I'm kind of blind here. Hero though, hugging the left hand side where there's a lot of buildings to detect him. I'm running too near the command centre. I'll patrol here as well. Into the house, lets him know he's there. Pushes some workers away, but needs to get around the outskirts. Looking quite strong at home. A lot of farms down. Kills a farm here as well. Play for that T3 maybe. Grenooli in his base here. Grenooli's coming after him. He really wants to fight now. I think Hero might take that. Oh, maybe not. Too quite low though. A lot more troopers on the way as well. That's quite good. He's macroing quite well, just bumping these out and sending the next group. Keep that momentum going. And see if he can whittle Grenooli down, force some mistakes, but not here. It's him that's made the mistake, overextending a little bit there. Those troopers getting some good volleys off and a couple of them lower health. Can maybe play for the elevation though, which he does, and he knows he's got more troopers on the way too. If he manages to win this trade, it's quite good for him. Oh, he missed! But yeah, that's okay for him. He's getting closer and closer to just pushing into Grenooli's economy. If it just keeps going. There's more here as well. It's grabbing about 8 troopers or so each time, sending them across. Well, he's got a lot here though. Doesn't look like he's had any lapses in his production. We queue up again. Oh, he's stopped now. Oh, there he is. Thinking about War Center. Some upgrades for these troopers, and he's closing things off as well. It's kind of going to put an end to any of Hero's ambitions here. Unless he figures out this right hand side. If he'd just gone through this right hand side, Grenooli's so doomed. Not sure who's worse off there. But Hero's decided to pull out of that trade. He kind of knows about it as well. I'm surprised he's not actually just wandered down there. See, you could manipulate your opponent. If on that last attack Hero had just decided to go to the right, Grenooli's almost playing for this. He's sitting waiting here all the time. And he's popping out here, but just with a lot more troopers than Hero, and Hero's just getting smashed. Absolutely smashed there. Got the armor, and we got the plus damage as well. Only got the plus damage here for Hero. The numbers that mean absolutely everything though there, and there's a lot more troopers for Grenooli. The upgrades are just a sort of cherry on the top. I think this would have been a good game for either player to go for the old triple troop centre. How well set up their ecos were. I almost feel like Hero needs it right now. They're quite good with TF as well. You never get housed. And now Grenooli just kind of punching through here, and it's really bad for Hero here since he's TF. Let's rely on like light walls and stuff, and he should probably have made a lot more, especially around the bottom part. A lot of what he was banking on is just keeping that aggression on Grenooli's side and keeping Grenooli off his side of the map, so this doesn't really happen. Now he's in here and he's getting a lot of workers. That's what, 5, 6 dead. 7, 8. Hero does hit T3. Grenooli's almost T3 himself though. He's going to be a worker lead. So we're going to go down as well. Oh, another one. Another. Oh my god. What a mess. 51 for Grenooli. 33 here for Hero. It's sad to see. 18 workers down. And out come the strike max, much like that game before. Grenooli likes to just spam the strike max here, stay on 1cc for a little bit, and make sure he's got a good thing going there, and then he'll add on his extra CCs. His economy set up the way we'd like. Good amount of carbon, some solid farms down, and just a couple of workers on the Nova. And here we're trying to sneak these troopers across, maybe intercept some strike max if he can. Get that one, we might get that one actually. Oh, 5 health. But they're going to come in here because they know exactly where he's weak after that initial attack. And then they're further hitting those carbon workers. You can see a lot of farms expiring now. He's got a lot of overhead. He's a mexive as well. He probably wants to build mech. Double mech factory, but absolutely poor here from carbon at the moment. And strike mech's fighting strike mechs. But Hero really, to be honest, needs second command center to try and catch up in those workers. He's just going to call GG there. He's... Yeah. So I think Grenooli took that thing 9-0. As anticlimactic as that was at the end there. But yeah. Pretty good play from everyone. It's interesting to see. Hopefully this is the last game of Jakku I ever have to cast. Because I really don't like the map, to be honest. It's a bit rubbish. I prefer a lot of the other desert maps. But yeah, GG well played to all those involved. Hope you've enjoyed this and enjoy the content. Please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. If you want to get involved in these games, future tournaments and things, you'll find the server invite link down below in the description field. You'll find a link for vibly.com where you can play the game online. You'll find a server invite link for the Expanding Fronts mod, which is the mod that we're playing here. And if you want to support the channel another way, there's a PayPal donation link if you want to buy me a coffee. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.